Mexican Monster has already made two defenses of his interim super middleweight WBC title against fighters who are active in super middleweight ranking. It seems really clear that at this moment, Canelo and his team they don't want any piece of David Benavidez. Today, Canelo team announced that he is going to fight at least 5 more years. Does David Benavidez come into that plan? Or maybe they are waiting that when David moves to light heavyweight and his body gets accustomed to light heavyweight, then they will ask him to come down to 168 too, so that Canelo can make his title defense against a depleted David Benavidez. That would be a great plan. People always say that the people who are ardent supporter of Canelo Alvarez, don't be mistaken, I am a big fan of Canelo, but I'm talking here about this situation but because it is what it is. And I am asking this question to you and I'm making this video for you so that I can have a discussion with you people. People can say that David Benavidez can forget about he should forget about Canelo and he should create his own legacy. He should become a big superstar. But David does not have what Canelo had. Then you may say that what do I mean by that? He is really good boxer, he is tall, he has freakish power, he throws really good combination. What more he needs? He is already two-time super middleweight champion. He is currently interim WBC middleweight champion. Sorry, super middleweight. What more he needs? So let me tell you what he did not have, which Canelo had. Canelo's first fight, which brought him to limelight, was against Floyd Mayweather, the great Floyd. Even though he lost that fight, but that fight launched him into the eyes of millions of people. The title of that boxing pay-per-view was The One. Looking back at it, it looks like it was a passing of the torch moment, even though it came into the defeat. But was it really a defeat? Because he gained more from that fight than he could have gained from a great victory in that fight against a lesser opponent. Correct me when I'm wrong, and I would love to hear your opinions in the comment. But more important than that, Canelo started from 154. He had time to run through one champions available at 154, champions available at 160. Then he had time to run through champions available at 168. Then he made a short visit at light heavyweight and won a belt there. Then he came back and became the undisputed champion at super middleweight. So even though David had that signature victory against Plant and Andrade, they didn't had anything closer to Floyd. He did not gain much. That fight was all about how dominating David Benavidez is going to look. No matter who you were cheering for, deep down you knew that those two people were going to lose. How? That was the only question. So if David wants to create his own legacy, as Canelo super fans will say, then where are the fighters? If they are there, they don't want to fight him. Who are available there? Jaime Munguia. He does not want any piece of Benavides. Otherwise, he is still looking for. Munguia is looking for a Canelo fight. He would have called David out. Edgar, Edgar Berlanga, sorry. He is still in the development phase, and even though he gets to that phase where he is ready for a championship fight, then he is more likely to go through Munguia than he is going to through Benavides. And even if one of these fight happens, either Munguia, which is good possibilities, then that fight would be more about how well David is going to do. It is not about how good Munguia is, because everybody knows that how much better Munguia or Berlanga became in 2 years. They are not going to beat David Benavides. He will build a solid resume from these fights, but his legacy fight, or the fight that would turn him into a superstar, like face of boxing. So what are we talking about? Face of boxing means pay-per-view superstar. That's what we mean by that. We are not talking about skill there, but it is a culmination of both. Then that fight is available for him at light heavyweight against the winner of Better BF or and Bivol. So that's the route he has to take to become a superstar. And when he fight them, or suppose that he beats one of them, then he will have to move up at cruiserweight. And he has that frame, he has that power, he has everything that it takes to become most like a heavyweight champion. You heard it first there. Or if you have came to that conclusion, you are not wrong. I think the same way. Because you would rarely see a fighter who fought his entire career at one weight division became a big superstar. By superstar, I mean a great sup- fighter, a legendary legacy, plus a big pay-per-view superstar. Because even though Triple G a great champion, he is not considered a pay-per-view superstar. It only is used for people who had belts at multiple weight division. That's why Floyd made Tank fight at super featherweight, lightweight, and super lightweight, so that he could have that word three division champion against his name with everything he has, all the talent he has. So Benavides has to move at least 2 to 3 weight division before he becomes a pay-per-view superstar, because he is already a star. If you talk about boxing skill, every attribute that is required to be a great champion, he already is. Otherwise, if he was a pay-per-view superstar, people would be lining up to fight him. like they wait for that Canelo payday. So that's what I meant by saying that he does not have what Canelo Alvarez had in Floyd Mayweather, the fight in which he gained more in defeat than he could have gained in victory against a lesser opponent. I would love to talk about hypocrisy and ignorance of WBC, but that is whole another topic. So it's better I stop here, and I would love to hear your comments. And if you are if you have reached here, please support me, please subscribe, and be well in the world. Take care.